Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out Entitled Parents. Story 1. The reason my cousin doesn't talk to his mom. This isn't about me, but rather my cousin Mark, fake name, M24. I knew he is NC with his bio mother, but I never knew why, nor I asked since it wasn't my place to ask. Till my grandma told me the reason, with no prompt, mind you. She was like, oh by the way, this is why. When he was 8 years old, his father, my mother's brother, and his mother divorced. According to my grandma, she was entitled, demanding and just plain rude. They had shared custody of him, but my cousin hated being with his mom, since she would spend her time with him complaining about his father. Then she married again, to a man that had a daughter, 8 at the time, from a previous marriage, and things got worse, since her mother would completely ignore him in favor of her new daughter. And here is the reason he now doesn't talk to her: they would go to trips to Disneyland without him. They would leave him home alone, with a babysitter, and then when they were back, the stepsister would rub on his face about the trip. And this didn't happen once but over 4 times from the ages of 10 to 14. At 16 he moved with his father full-time and went NC with his mother. Story 2. Ada for not wanting to watch 16 Kids. A repost of my post. So I 17F went to my little cousin's birthday 8F and had a nice time. She was wanting to have a sleepover with all of my younger cousins, all under the age of 11, and like 4 of her friends. The thing is that equaled to about 16 little kids, so I wasn't planning to spend the night, neither were my other cousins, 12 to 14. We were going to go back to my house and watch scary movies so Poppy could have the birthday of her dreams. But about an hour into the birthday, all of the little kids came up to me and asked if I could spend the night too. I told them no because I already had plans, but they kept on pushing. Then some of the parents asked and I told them the same thing. But then one of my cousins, Kay, Poppy's stepsister, came up to me and asked me to spend the night. I asked why. She told me because her mom and all the other parents were wanting to go and hang out at the creek. I have had some issues with her mom because I used to live with them, and Poppy's parents used to dump their kids on me and run off for hours doing God knows what. Let's just say I moved out sooner than they wanted me to. I decided to leave because that cat was out of the bag. I said goodbye, gave everyone hugs, then left with my other cousins. No one even complained. The whole car ride my phone was blowing up, and when I got home I checked to see, and it was Poppy's and Kay's mom, Kelly, sending me voice memos screaming at me. And angry texts. I ignored them and just turned off any notification from her. But then all of my aunts and uncles started to call me. I answered my uncle Chris, Poppy's dad, and he said how I bailed on the kids and now him and Kelly do not have a date night with all of our family. I asked him what he meant, and he said that Kelly said I would watch the kids so everyone could have fun. I told him I never said that, and he just hung up on me. I didn't even say anything about me spending the night with them. I said quite the opponent all afternoon. Chris had even asked me if I was spending the night, and I told him no as well. Me and the rest of my cousins had a good night and all, but I was rudely awoken the next morning with ice cold water on my face. It was my Aunt Dawn and Uncle Heath standing over me angry. I got up and just got changed before I was yelled at for hours by not only them but the rest of my family were coming over to yell at me as well. I didn't snap or yell or cry or giggle at the situation because it was so fucking stupid. Then when I finally got a chance to talk, I told them that if they wanted me to watch their kids, each of them could have put a $10 bill in my hand for each kid, and I would have done it because I've been taking care of their kids since I was 10, and I was not about to watch 15 kids with no help and no money because they are not even mine to take care of. I then sat back and looked at all their shocked faces, and then all of them yelled at me saying that they are family and it would be stupid for me to watch them for money. I now feel bad because family means so much to me and everyone, but I don't think it was wrong of me to ask for money to watch 16 kids. I just don't know what to do. I think ill apologies to them, but I need a second opinion. So Ada, sorry I'm dyslexic if there are any typos. Update. One of my aunts, hi Dawn, got sent this post to her, and as you guessed it, I'm in deeper shit. But when she came to my sister's apartment, I'm living here for now, been here for like 5 months, I let her in, called my mom and handed her the phone. She got a speech about how none of them had a right to talk to me like that, and she is driving back home RN and we are going to have a family meeting. Ajian, because of their treatment towards me. Dawn left and texted me later about how she wishes that I would have went to her before going online. Then said she loved me and dumping water on me was just a joke. I just sent a thumbs up. My sister and mom are proud of me. My uncle Chers had called me a few minutes ago and said he was sorry. I said okay and he cried to me for about a minute about how I'm like a daughter to him and Kelly. I told him that if he would have really hear me for 5 minutes then he would have known. I hung up. I'm heartbroken. Chris was and still is my favorite uncle. He took me in when almost everyone was against me. But these past few years he has just stopped caring. But my mom is on her way down here and I haven't seen her in 2 weeks, so I'm pretty excited. Not for the reasons I want, but these are the reasons I get. Update. It's been hours since our family meeting. The only argument the rest of my family had was that I posted about our family drama on a public website. I gave them the reasons and why I did so. I got told to take this post down or I would no longer be able to see my cousins, but I told them that they will need me one day because I watch their kids for free. By the end of it we were all in tears. Most of my aunts and uncles crying. My grandma, mom, and sister were yelling at them, saying I hold this family together. I don't agree, but it still brought everyone to tears. But then Kelly started to yell at me. Told me to take the post down. Told me that everybody is threatening her, our family, in the posts. Story 3. I, 17F, am resisting the urge to punch my brother, 8M, in the face. TW abuse. Oof, this is gonna be a long one, so please bear with me. Throughout my childhood I have suffered from physical and verbal abuse from my father. I think it started from 8 years old. My father would hit me whenever he felt like it, such as when I refused to go to the park with him, and when I refused to wear a dress. Those happened when I was 9 or 10. Most of the time he would hit me when I lost my match in my sport, not going to specify. He would usually hit me using a cane or just throw stuff at me. He would also call me a useless piece of garbage most of the time. I was basically forced into this sport because it was something he couldn't do when he was a child. I never liked this sport, but he even wanted me to go professional. This changed when I was 12 and my parents got a foreign coach to live with me in an apartment and coach me full-time. I pulled out of middle school and only did online classes, which really effed my studied up. But worst of all, this coach made 2 years of my life a living hell. I would train 7 hours a day 7 days a week, in the addition he would abuse me physically and verbally every single day. Once, I went to a tournament with him and lost a match. He slapped me in the face multiple times till I started bleeding, and kicked me on the floor. My stomach hurt so much I couldn't eat. My parents knew about all the abuse but didn't do shit cause my dad wanted me to climb the ranks in my sport. After 2 years I got a pretty decent rank and the coach went back. My dad started treating me much better, the abuse got much lesser and he started trying to change for the better. One thing that I'm furious about is that I have a brother 9 years younger than me and he is living my dream life. When I was his age my schedule would be filled with activities that I couldn't be back home till 8 p.m. Now he finishes school at 1, and watches TV throughout the day. My parents doesn't send him to activities cause they figured out it was pretty useless and didn't help me much. It was as though I am a guinea pig to them. My dad is much calmer now, so my brother won't have to go through any of the shit I went through, and this makes me so sick. The fact my brother is an absolute asshat does not make it any better. He would yell at my mom and get whatever he wants. Once I started playing video games to have a bit of fun and asked my mom if she could give me $5 to purchase something in it. She said I was addicted and should stop. My brother asked her if he could spend $50 on Roblox and she agreed. Honestly, WTF. My dad would buy my brother a shit ton of toys on his birthday, but I remember my dad didn't get me presents last time because he already did so much for me. I asked my dad once if my brother is going to go through the same path as me, but dad said that he was old and tired, my brother should just play casually whilst going to school to get a scholarship, something I always wanted, but dad only gave me the option to play the sport full-time or go to school full-time. I chose to play because I knew he would be mad. My mom is the only one that treats me nice and I love her, but she has been only dedicating her time to my brother and I feel so lonely now. I don't have friends because I don't go to school. I was always the straight A student, but now I don't even know if I can survive in college because of this sick fantasy my dad wanted me to fulfill. We are considered upper middle class in my country and my dad owns a few luxury cars. My dream was always to get into a Ivy League school, and one of the coaches from Columbia University contacted me to say they were interested. I was so happy and told my dad, but he said I should try to get a scholarship instead. But he could afford Porsches? That absolutely broke me. My tipping point was when I asked my mom to go out for lunch to spend time with her, but she obviously had to bring my brother along. He ordered fried chicken, but due to his rotten spoiled mouth he needs to spit the fat out. So he was biting the chicken and constantly trying to spit the fat out. I got so mad I was about to punch him in the face. Guys, I can't do this anymore. My brother is living the life I've never had with a sane father and a mom that loves him so much. I need advice. Should I just go to a college in the US and just never return? How do I deal with this hate and jealousy I have towards my brother? But damn, getting a green card is tough. Story 4. Not buying a handheld game for her kids after was told not. I received a gift card from work for a pop-up store. The store opens Thanksgiving week to the day after New Year's. I saw some handheld games for cheap with a 150 games built-in, so I called several family members asking if it's a good gift for their children. All said yes except one aunt. She said it was too cheap for her kids and don't bother her about it because she's buying them the more expensive kind. Christmas came around, all the kids loved theirs. I even brought some for the adults in my family who has special needs. We have a device where we can engrave names on everyone's game. The aunt demanded why I didn't get a game for her kids. I reminded her of what she said. I was told I lied. I gave my phone to another family member and asked to read the text message she sent calling the game cheap. She was planning on buying her kids a better game system. She didn't buy her kids a game system because they are expensive. She demanded that we take the games from the adults with special needs because they're adults and don't need game. Her kids are shocked and telling their mother to clam down. She demanded why I didn't tell her it had that many games on it. I said no. We bought a round gift her kids. She left, but kids and husband wanted to stay. So when she left I gave kids the same game like everyone else. The next day she called me upset because she had eaten sandwich and chips for Christmas dinner. My response: no one told to leave, you left on your own. Haven't had a problem with her since Christmas. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.